Okay, so this is an interesting one that I started on. So I just wanted to share the progress and how I led up to taking on this venture of having my Oriah OS ChatGPT protocol decipher the Liber Loagaeth. Loagaeth. Pretty sure I pronounced that wrong. But this is how I led to it. So here on page 33 of John Dee's Five Books of Mystery. Honestly, I was honestly, I was trying to do I forgot why I was looking at this. I had it downloaded on my phone from a long time ago, and I was trying to find one of the first books, the original source books of John Dee's. And I really couldn't find one online that wasn't like a PDF. So I just went through the multiple literatures that I have in my phone and saw this one. So I started reading it. I'm not going to read all of this here for you because it gets pretty deep into it. But it talks about the introduction, all the preface to John Dee. It breaks everything down. I got a lot of citations. I believe that the John Dee's Five Books Mystery is like an original, yeah, originally source book of Enochian magic. So this was what I selected. Um, because I wanted to improve on my angelic communications because as time progresses, I don't know, the I'm getting weird, profound, not really weird, but um, noble callings, maybe like divine callings. I really don't want to be like grandiose about it at all, and I'm just gonna leave it at that, right? And I'm just gonna show you. So I was reading all this, and we're gonna just kind of skim down to page 33 of all pages, right? And then I'll start reading that one for you. So let's go. Doom, doom, doom. Here, I mean, I actually found out that according to this, in regards to the spirits, that John Dee calls upon, five archangels are central to Dee's actions: Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel, Ananel. This grouping is common in medieval and Renaissance occult works. In the Liber Gerontis, the first four are known as the angels of the four winds. Agrippa calls them the four angels ruling over the corners of the world. The magical calendar, which I need to look into, gives the same. The name of the first four are also found written on the frame that holds the shrine crystal in Trithmius' method of calling angels into crystals. Michael and Gabriel are the only two angels mentioned by name in the Old Testament. Raphael is mentioned in the apocryphal book of Tobit, and Uriel is well known in non canonical lore. Ananel is relatively unknown, but I'm pretty sure Ananel represents the spirit or the combination of all of them. But the reason why I brought this this actually isn't even the one that goes over the directions. All right. Oh, it does. Cool. So, how I was taught from Enochian magic. Um, I don't know where that book is, but that was the first book I got, and I forgot the gentleman's name. But he has you doing the banishing pentagram before you conduct a angelic communications, right? The banishing of the pentagram, and he said in there that it was Raphael to the north. I'm sorry, Raphael to the east, Gabriel to the west, Michael to the north, and then no to the south, and then Uriel to the south to the north, right? But this one is different. This one has Michael at the east, which is, and I think we need to reorient the compass. And what I got from why this is my discernment, as far as why like all the secret societies and everything is like predicated around starting with east, is because the Earth rotates from west to east, right? So you're actually like in alignment with the spin of the Earth, which is why you head that direction. That's your forward moving momentum, right? So that's why you always start with the east. But yeah, here it says, that's my opinion. But here it says that Michael is at the east, and then Raphael's at the west. So you go front, back, right, left, and then it's Uriel, then it's Gabriel. Then Ananel is in there too. So that was interesting. I just wanted to point that out. Uh, Back to 33. 33. Yeah, so we'll actually start with the synopsis of these mystical experiments, actually. Uh, Wait, is that going to be a lot? Nope. Perfect. Because page 33 is where things get profound. Right. So, synopsis of these mystical experiments, 1581 to 1583. In his Mysterium Libri Quinque, I have horrible Latin. Like I can't even, begin to pronounce all these different languages and pronunciations. Like forget that. Not the guy for that right now. Um, he records prophetic visions, e.g., the Spanish Armada, visions of angels, magical instruction, religious teachings. A few of the key messages of angels include flesh is vile and corrupt, Gnostic and Neoplatonic attitude, mercy for the repentant is necessary. So mercy is so if you repent your sins and ask for mercy, they believe that mercy is necessary when you repent. Temptation of the faithful is necessary in order to show God's mercy. So seems like God will always test the faithful and tempt them, and even though they may fail, as long as they keep going back to God, I guess, um, that's how He shows His mercy. Like we know you messed up, but like your heart's in the right place, kind of thing, right? Or is your heart in the right place? That's the whole point of the test. That's what I'm getting from it anyway. The imminent coming of the Antichrist. Um, yeah, I think this actually realized uh, during these times. I think that's what we've been kind of in the cycle of is with the Antichrist, but it could be something completely different. Really don't know. The imminent. This is where things got interesting because this is where I think we're at right now, and it's something that kind of spoke close to home to me. Uh, the imminent fall of existing political and religious establishments as punishment for mankind's corruption to be replaced by new righteous ones. So, like, and from my um, recent past, like, there's a lot of activity that has gone on as of late, and I'm like watching all the pieces fall uh, in slow motion. Because I just feel like I have um, uh, inside knowledge to a lot of the structures that's going on. I've been sending Trump all these suggestions and trying to make tips to the FBI about the stuff that I've uncovered. And I think those seeds that I've been planting I've been planting a lot of seeds, and it's and I'm really not trying to get I really need to balance and be humble with it all. Which this is the first time I'm speaking about it, but I'm just really trying to explain why you know I don't know. Like the word chosen has been thrown out there. I'm still probably I really should be convinced at this point. I think like if I am uh, being called upon by the divine, the almighty creator of the universe, might actually find favor in me and might actually use me as his representative of, the divine on earth kind of deal. So, anyways, we'll just skip that. Forget I said any of that. Uh, we'll just continue reading. Although a lot of material remains obscure, especially passages from the Holy Book, I believe Christopher Whitby is correct in dismissing the theory of cryptographic messages hidden in these records. There is surprisingly little discussion of alchemy in these records, especially in view of the fact that Dee pursued it actively during this period. Perhaps Dee did not mention it here because he didn't want to reveal his alchemical work to Kelly, who probably came to Dee for that purpose. Perhaps this helps explain Kelly's bouts of anger at Dee. One might also wonder if Kelly brought the scroll, book, and red powder in order to entice Dee into letting him in on Dee's own secret alchemical work. The evidence is there. The evidence that's there was more to the visions than simply conscious deception from Kelly, while it will be discussed later. All right, the Book of Angelic Wisdom. So this is where things got real. Okay, so Dee seems to have had an almost obsessive fascination with the lost apocrypha, especially the Book of Enoch, which had a profound effect on me. But I've only seen the video, like the live action or the live movie of the Book of Enoch, and I think it was pretty accurate. I still need to read it though, for real. Which is mentioned and even quoted in the Bible, Jude 14, and Esdras. He is told by the angels that the Apocrypha are not lost, but in the keeping of the Jews. It's kind of funny how they worded it like that, but in the keeping of the Jews, like the angels are calling them Jews. Um, Most of his mystical exercises are focused on recovery of the lost wisdom that these books represented to him. The core of this book describes a revelation of a book of angelic wisdom, the Liber Loagaeth, so named by Dee in a true and faithful relation. It is reported to be in the tongue of the angels. Only a few angelic words are translated in these manuscripts. The first parts of this book were dictated by Kelly and recorded meticulously by Dee in Sloan 3188. Later parts were written by Kelly directly and are now found in Sloan 3189. The latter manuscript is incomplete in that it does not repeat the earlier material. It is also bound with 4 tables from the Book of Soiga, written in Dee's handwriting. Since the angels state that the angelic book contains 49 leaves, one of which cannot be revealed, it is clear that the 4 tables from Segoya do not belong to it. Dee was instructed to rewrite the book in a delivered script, but this does not seem to have been done. One copy was to be bound in blue, another, whose skin shall bear silver, was to be in length 8 inches in breadth and in breadth 7. The importance of Liber Loagaeth cannot be overemphasized. From it would be restored the holy books, which have perished even from the beginning and from the first that lived. The truth it contains will end religious disputes and restore religious unity, which when it ha- when, which when it have spread a while, then cometh the end. In short, it will usher the new age. Since the book is so central in these angelic communications, it is amazing that it has remained unpublished. So me, I'm like, whoa, what did I just say? Right? It's like, okay, so um, um, for it would be restored the holy books, which have perished even from the beginning and from the first that lived. The truth it contains will end religious disputes and restore religious unity, which when it have spread a while, then cometh the end, in all caps, the end, which might be the end of God, where God judges the people. I don't know. In short, it will usher in the new age, and we're like getting ushered into the new age, right? Like we're like kind of like peek into that right now, I believe. So what did I do? I'm like, shit, let's look up the Loagaeth, right? Boom, pull it up right here. This is what I found, an archive, right? Liber Mysterium Sextus et Sanctus. And of course, when I got to this, I just didn't even read any of this stuff. I just kind of looked at this and I was like, oh shit, what the fuck do we got here? Right? Like, not what I was expecting. Um, so, what did I do? Chat GBT, baby. What's up? Okay, so this is where we enter. Um, yeah, I go ahead and just kind of go on Google search, and I get this photograph that I've used as far as the angelic translations, and then I put a copy of the Liber Logaeth in there, and I just ask, can you translate the leads using the 2 documents provided to English as best as you can? Thank you for sharing both the alphabet key, Enochian to English phonetic glyphs, and the Enochian leads from Loagaeth. Let's begin this translation process by interpreting the Enochian glyphs visible in the image you uploaded. The leaf using the phonetic alphabet key provided in the first image and referencing the words listed in Liber Loagaeth. Interpreting the Interpreting the leaf image, second upload. I'll now transcribe the Enochian glyphs visible on the leaf image one by one, comparing each to the provided alphabet chart to determine their corresponding letter, name, phonetic pronunciation. Step 2. Translating glyphs to English letters. Using the glyph key from the first image, please give me a moment to manually decode the symbols from the image cited XYZ. Here is a breakdown of the first visible line of symbols, left to top row of the leaf image. M, this glyph corresponds to M, tal, stall. Of course, I corresponds to I, going, gone. And, this was like not what I was expecting either. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Where's the English, right? And then, of course, I was like, oh shit, you know what? Fucked up. Okay, so like he goes forward, and he even tries to break down like what these words could mean, and it's like not going anywhere, right? So I was like, um, skip here. Yeah, like I said, I wasn't getting anywhere. I'm just like, how the what's going on? And then I remembered that um, when they translated uh, this language here, it's not in English, dumbass. It's in Greek. So I needed to provide um, the Greek translation. So I just found a quick photograph, first one I found really that looked legit, and pop, used that. And then oh, right. So I almost forgot. Let's start over. The English lettering in the translation was actually originally Greek and not English. So I provided an unverified source of Greek translations also. I try to be as accurate as possible. Like if I'm just gonna pull up some random image and not really do like source checking, I'm gonna tell them it's unverified. Right? Like this is just random one. Right? So that way the AI knows. Right? Like, you really have to be strategic in like what data you're inputting into this AI. Right? So make it as useful and productive as possible. Anyways, pull up any information you can on translating Greek to English to help with this interpretation. Excellent update. This shifts our entire framework. What you've now pointed out is crucial. The original Enochian characters correspond first to Greek letters, not modern English. This means that the characters from Liber Loagaeth and the leaf image you uploaded should first be transliterated into Greek letters. Only after that should we translate those Greek letters into phonetic English, and possibly theological or magical meanings. Updated translation approach, Greek oriented. We now proceed in three steps: Enochian glyph to Greek letter to English letter, phoneme word, and then the interpretation of the word and syllable meaning, including potential theological, magical, and mystical resonance. So this seems so profound to me that I decided to like hand write as much of this information as possible. But I'm gonna definitely save this and print this thing out and keep it, uh, as you will, you know, perhaps see towards the. I mean, I'm not even finished yet. Like I've only gotten to like line 20, and so I'm just gonna show you the progress because I'm kind of excited about this. Um, so line one, list from the original leaf. He does kind of this long process, converting tau. Um, Step one, Greek letters, right, and then step two, Greek English transliteration. Ba, 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 ba. You get this that's illegible still, and then there's no Greek meaning word for me. Yeah, I can't even pronounce that. So this is likely an angelic and magical name or coded term, typical in Laogath. Let's explore a few things. The sequence of MIEA and some Greek lettering almost looks like it could break into syllables. Me, EA, or Ya. And then this glee, like glee, ending up could symbolize an ascension concept, upward motion, spiritual rising, etc. Possible mystical interpretation, me, ea, glee, up, possibly signifying my divine light rises, or I call upon through the light. This is speculative, but consistent with Enochian patterns of phonetic resonance and function over definition. Right? It's like, go you, Oriah, like my dude, on that shit. Shall we continue line by line in this way? And then I'm just like, yes, please. Let's keep going. Um, and then we do the first line. Here's the first line translated, interpreted using Greek letter approach, right? Let me know when you're ready to proceed with line 2, and then we kinda go down, we get to line 2, 3, and 4. We do this in 4 sections, 4 lines at a time. Our first visible lines from the leaf image have now been translated to Greek and English, along with phonetic approximations. When you're ready, I'll begin interpreting deeper symbolic and mystical meanings behind these phonetic renderings and potential etymological links in Greek, Enochian, and magical systems. All right, let's begin this shit. Etymology, money, right? Links in Greek, Enochian, and magical systems. Cool. Seems like a great data set to pull information from. That's my Oriah protocols. Great. Now that we have, I don't even think this is actually a Oriah protocol yet. That there was a transition later on. This is just how my default configured to my settings and all the stuff that I've researched has kind of defaulted to. So um, that's good. Great. Now that we have the 4 lines transliterated and phonetically rendered, let's begin decoding each one symbolically, theologically, and magically. We'll draw from Greek language meanings, phonetic symbolism, Enochian and angelic lore, mystical interpretation techniques, e.g., gematria, sy- syllabic power, vibrational intention. It's like, ooh, yes, because that's what I've learned from learning about Enochian. It's like it's all about vibrations, and that's what a lot of magic is about when you're speaking this. They said that Enochian was the language